under this banner, for them to have this beautiful canvas with the yellow and red clad there and those yellow ropes. And even like there's the symbolism too, after the match, when Alexander got the win, he stomps on each letter very strategically. TNA is back. And them sitting in the corner, and you mentioned the Scott D'Amore promo, which I think we need to give justice and talk about it. Man, the energy, and I said it in the opening, I haven't seen this from a wrestling personality that is genuine. Like, we can talk about characters and people that get motivated and like they have energy towards the product and that you feel passion. There's nothing like we saw with Scott D'Amore over this weekend of what he feels TNA means to him and what the future of it means to him as well. So invested. The only thing you can compare it to is when you have that Paul Heyman speech right before Barely Legal. Like that, to me, that's what it feels like. He is living and dying with TNA, to the fact, even in the promo, he said, if I was to go through the curtain and die, I would be happy just being able to witness, first of all, what happened at Hard to Kill, and then two of the best wrestlers in the world competing in this ring. I felt like he meant that. Like that, you feel it tangibly often. Like I said to you, I texted you, I'm ready to run through a goddamn wall for this dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, this guy can lead any charge, and I'll be right behind him, man. His passion is unmatched. Like, and I mean, he was so fired up, man, but at the same time, you could tell that he was so overwhelmed that he was on the verge of tears at the same time. I mean, the guy he cares about this company very deeply, and he's very passionate about where it's coming. You know, he said, like when he came back in, he saw the lowest of lows, and then to see people like Josh Alexander, like Will Ospreay, like Jordan Grace, Tasha Steeles, and all these folks to come in and build it back up. And, basically, like he said, giving him and others a reason to live, to build this company and build it back up and to see where it's going. I mean, he even called out Bruce Pritchard declaring TNA dead, man, back in the day. And he's, he went on to say that, if he walked out of the curtain tonight and fell over dead, that not only would he be happy because of the match and what he saw tonight and Hard to Kill, but the fact that TNA is back and it's never going anywhere. Like it is firmly found its spot in the wrestling landscape again, man. And I mean, I'm getting chills just bringing it back up, man. But watching it live, like you said, man, I mean, I was just fucking yelling in my living room by myself. Like I was just so hyped up, man. I mean, this is not only just coming off that match and then to have Scott come out there and cut a promo like that, man. I mean, it just really filled me up all around, man. I mean, they have so much momentum right now. It's unreal.
So the thing is, and we talked about this upon the reemergence of TNA when they made the announcement that they are owning their history. And this is a paramount example of owning your history, good and bad. For Scott D'Amore to sit in the middle of the ring and talk about what he labeled a corpse of TNA wrestling when he first got there and saw what it became under the leadership or lack thereof of, go down the list. Bruce Pritchard's, Dixie Carter, all these names that we continually hear. For him to call out Bruce Pritchard for calling out TNA is dead and really bring awareness to where the company has gone instead of just glossing over, because it would be so easy to gloss it over and wax poetic about the history that was and show the highlights of Ultimate X and show what was happening in those years and try to paint a picture that the negativity wasn't there. I think it works in such a better way for you to emphasize how bad it really was, because I think people forget how bad it was. And a lot of us, for the most part, tuned out completely when it got to the point where it was rock bottom and it became a meme of itself. And I think the fact that nostalgia does gloss over a lot of the warts, we've been very transparent about that. But owning that and bringing attention to it not only shows the growth, but it also shows that they're willing to kind of be vulnerable to their fan base and just say, we understand that this is attached to some negativity. We're owning that. And we want to reshape what the perception of TNA wrestling is. And I would say it's a resounding positive notion that they've already done it in just one weekend in Vegas. And of course, there's a lot of work to be done to continue that momentum and build it in the direction that we want it to go. But there's so much of this reclamation of this TNA brand that happened overnight. And you wonder why it didn't happen with any other leadership. And it just kind of shows how great Scott D'Amore has been. And it starts with passion. This dude lives and breathes it, man. Like, I'm bringing it back to Welcome to the Dance with 1997 Barely Legal when ECW made their pay-per-view debut. Every time Scott D'Amore, especially this promo, to me, this was iconic. We watched an iconic moment when he's out there where this promo is going to live in lore. I really, truly believe that. This should be in compilation packages of how to motivate people. Like this was insane. Check it out. Like if you have not seen this promo, I'm not like this combination of the match and the promo after, like how do you not feel something from that? It's pro wrestling and drama and feeling personified. This was unreal. I'm going to clip this shit and put it on my Instagram because it was the Scott D'Amore promo was fuck, man. Like you said, I want to run through a goddamn wall for this dude.
Yeah, man. It was a rallying cry to say the least. And it's I like what you said, man. Like the placement of the promo right after the match. I mean, I honestly, they really shouldn't be separated. Like anytime, you shouldn't be able to find a video of a replay of this match without Scott coming out and give it and cutting the promo that he did afterwards, man. Because I mean, it just put such a perfect exclamation point on a match that already made such a statement. And man, yeah, just I think somebody said in the comments earlier tonight, man, yeah. Kenneth Montel said, "Goddamn, what a way to start the rebirth of TNA!" Like, it couldn't have said it better myself, man. I mean, they really knocked it out of the park tonight. It just, I mean, I've got chills, man, just thinking about because it was such a long road to get here. You know, like you said, we've been punting for months. Like we got the announcement of the rebrand back in October. Here we are, January 18th, man, and I mean, it was so worth the wait. You know, yeah. good things come. Like you can tell that they took every single amount of downtime they had. This is hard to kill. These first couple of weeks of tapings, these are very calculated, very, very calculated programs that, you know, and storylines. I mean, we'll get to it as we go through more of the card, man. But just like even some of the smaller things that happened tonight, I mean, they're just absolutely wasting no time and perfectly executing so many different development storyline wise and talent wise. It's just it's an incredible time. It's an incredible time to be a wrestling fan, period, man. But like I can't really think of a more exciting time to be a TNA fan. And
we talked about capitalizing the momentum, and this weekend to me was a resounding success. And we did cover it in depth on Wrestling Tonight. You know, Colton was on there Sunday morning with us, and the audio dropped on Tuesday. If you want to check out our full breakdown of the Hard to Kill card and talk about our pretty much initial reactions, because it was the morning after. It feels like they had this moment in time to capitalize, because we mentioned the placement, whether it's strategic or not, or like that's the time they can get Palms Casino and whatever. This was a lull before the kind of the build up to the Royal Rumble, and when WWE takes the forefront of what's happening in pro wrestling. And of course, you know, not far after the Rumble, we have Revolution. So like the eyes of the wrestling world are going to be elsewhere. So they had the opportunity in this 2-week span to really just wow people and make them feel good about what they're doing. So I think they hit it out of the park with that. And now it's a matter of keeping this momentum and keeping that flame lit. You know, the initial, it's a party, man. But what happens after? When the New Year's resolutions are set and you're hitting the gym and you're feeling good about yourself, it's kind of easy to build on that. What happens when you get to April and stuff? You know, you're 4 months in. Like, we got to continue this energy. And you know what, though? Like, for those that are doubting they're going to be keeping this momentum, you just haven't been paying attention to what Impact's done, because Impact kind of has been lighting this pilot light for, you know, at this point, 4 years. They've been telling some of the most consistent level storytelling that we've ever seen in the company. And now they have the nostalgia piece of TNA wrestling behind it. And also kind of the energy of Endeavor streaming their, powering their streaming app to put more polish on it. And they've invested in the production value. It's a combination that really can't miss. And, I want to add the video on here of go back months ago. And I think maybe it was on The Debate or elsewhere. And most notably, Tom said, nobody watches Impact Wrestling. Well, you guys should be watching TNA Wrestling. If you're not, you really shouldn't even be calling yourself a wrestling fan. You can't be a well-rounded wrestling fan if you're not watching some of the best stuff here. And I don't want to hear anyone tell me what their match of the year is unless they've seen this match. You can't be someone that is in the know of pro wrestling if you did not watch Josh Alexander versus Will Ospreay. Your opinion just can't be respected.
Yeah, 100% agree.